My colleague and good friend Monica Deuce at University of Michigan studies all this in fruit flies and showed that if you take fruit flies from a controlled diet and put them on a sucrose diet, it changes their entire brain structure. Entire brain structure just because you added sugar to their diet. Okay. My colleague Bill Wilson, who wrote that book, Brain Drain, okay, he is a clinician. He does pattern recognition, and he's taken care of like 6,000 obese patients, and he stuck them all in DEXA scanners so he could actually measure their body composition. And he also gave them questionnaires, and he found 22 specific symptoms that correlated with metabolic dysfunction. And here they are. Read them. They're all behavioral. They're all behavioral. Okay? They're all really common. Maybe you have them. Okay? And he calls this, because when he puts people on low carb diets, they all get better. So he calls this carbohydrate associated reversible brain, or CARB syndrome. And he actually runs a blog called carbsyndrome.org, which you can, access for free. Ultra processed food, increased psychological distress as an indicator of depression. This came out 1 week ago from a Melbourne study, big Melbourne study. Okay? And we see it in humans as well. Again, correlation, not causation. It's hard to do causation in humans because that means you would have to take somebody's brain out. Okay? And they don't let you do that, not too often anyway. Okay? But this is a correlation study out of the Whitehall study in the UK. Sugar intake from sweet food and beverages, common mental disorders and depression, prospective findings. Now, we showed in our kids study that fructose makes lots of triglyceride, makes lots of VLDL. When we take the fructose out of the diet and substitute glucose, 9 days of isocaloric fructose restriction, liver fat went down 22%, turning sugar into fat went down 46%, VLDL triglyceride went down 49%, visceral fat went down 7%, all good. And most importantly, the pancreas started making insulin properly again. In other words, we reversed the patient's metabolic syndrome with no change in calories, no change in weight, just by getting rid of the toxin, the fructose.